expression is call it a day. Oh, no problem. But your sentence, it was snowing in Guangzhou last year. So snowing, we put the ing after snow. That would be a better sentence. All right, call it a day is the next expression. It means quit work and go home, or stop some activities to say that a day's work has been completed. Okay? So, call it a day means quit work and go home, which, everyone who's working loves to hear. Call it a day. So keep calm and call it a day. Examples are, it is getting dark. Let's call it a day. So you're outside, you're working, don't know what you're doing, but you're building a building, doing some gardening, and that. But a bunch of you are outside, pulling, doing farming or whatever. But when it says it's getting dark, let's call it a day. In other words, quit the work and go home. Number 2, how much more work do we have for tonight? He says, I think we finished everything. Good. Let's call it a day then. So A was wondering how much more work is there for tonight. B responds saying that, hey, we finished all the work. So A says, good. Let's call it a day then. So let's stop working and go home. Example 3. The boss was mad because Tom called it a day at noon and went home. Now, who wants to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then quit at noon and go home? I would love to do that. But my boss would not be very happy either. So the boss was mad because Tom called it a day at noon. In other words, he quit work and went home. All right. If people want me to read what they are writing, it will have to be in English. And here we go. Normal Wing Manager says, my customer complained the delay shipments all day long. Then I said, it is enough. Let's call it a day, okay? Oh. All right. No, sorry that the customers are complaining about the delay shipment. But, when it's time to go home, it's time to go home. It is getting cold. Let's call it a day. Yes, Oscar, that's a good one too. It's getting really, it's raining really hard. Let's call it a day. It's getting cold. Let's call it a day. It's getting dark. Let's call it a day. So weather is a really good use to let's call it a day if the weather's turned bad, and that you can call it a day, stop work, and go home, because you don't want to work outside in bad weather or dark weather or darkness. So you just call it a day. Okay, so call it a day questions so people have their hands up. Do you sometimes really want to call it a day at work? What do you do instead? Do you sometimes really want to call it a day at work? What do you do instead? This means, and if it's too hot too, you can call it a day. This question to the people with their hands up, it goes like this. Do you sometimes really want to call it a day at work? In other words, there's so much problems at work. There's so many things that are going wrong that you just want to call it a day. In other words, leave work early. Okay, you're going to call it a day at noon, or call it a day at 10 a.m. Or call it a day at 3 o'clock, a little before leaving. But you leave work early. So do you sometimes really want to call it a day at work? Do you really want to, quit work early? Now, what do you do instead? If you did quit work early, what would you do